So we're going to open up Visual Studio Code. Okay. The file, open folder. Going to go to GitHub, grid layout, open that up. All right. Got a blank canvas here. Okay. So first things first, we need to create an index file. So click on the icon. It's helpful if you guys are doing this with me right now. Sonny, can you turn off the light? See if it'll make it a little easier to see for everyone. There we go. So we're going to click that icon for the file. We're going to type index.html. Same old hat, HTML. Click that to generate it. This is a grid layout example. Okay. And this code that we're going to be using today in class is based off of some code in W3 Schools. So if you get lost, you can always reference back to that, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to create several divs, and we're going to break them up into like components. So we're going to create a div called item. Do you like how I did that? Let me do that again so you guys can catch that. In Visual Studio Code, you can type a class name that you want to give it and hit enter, and it'll create the code for you. Okay? Very nice, right? We're going to create, this is going to be, actually we're going to call this div our grid container. Okay? Inside of it, we're going to do a div called item1. So I'm going to type .item1, hit enter. It created the div. Inside of that, we're going to create a nav. Okay, so I'm going to do a navigation. And I'm going to give it a class name of top menu. Okay? Inside that nav, we'll create a UL, an LI, and we'll do an anchor tag, and we'll call this home. So far this is old hat. Everyone should have been able to do this. We've done this several times. Okay, I'm just copying and pasting a couple of times. I've got about, I've got contacts. Okay? Now, underneath this div, we're going to do a second one, a second div, and basically it's going to be pretty much identical. So we're going to copy the item1 div. Okay? Copy this div. Hit enter and paste it again. Okay? And we're going to change item 1 in the second div. I'm on line 19 if you're around that same area. Change it to item 2. And for the class, for the side menu, instead of top menu, it's going to be side menu. Okay? And I'm just going to change this to learn about HTML, learn about CSS, learn about JS, JavaScript. Okay, so I've just got some basic things in here so far. Okay, I'm going to hit underneath this div. You can see it's highlighted this line right here a little bit brighter, right? So right here at the edge of that div, I've got my cursor, and I'm just going to hit enter. Okay? Look at your neighbor, make sure their code matches what's up here. I want everyone to be on the same place. Okay? So we're gonna try to be at the same place. All right? So next we're gonna create the main content. Okay? So I'm gonna create another div, but I'm gonna do it the special way that we do it with Emmet. I'm just going to type dot item 3. Okay. Okay. And inside of that div, I'm going to create an H4 header, and I'm going to type main content. Okay, and I'm saving it. Scooch this over just a little bit. Will it let me? It won't. Oh no, it did. Let me take it too far. Bring this over. All right. Underneath it, we're going to do a paragraph tag. Okay. And then we're going to do something different. We're going to go to the web. Oops. Ipsum dollar. Okay, I've got a generator here called, it's a lorem ipsum, right? Content generator. So all we're going to do is we're just going to generate some code. And I'm going to just copy just 2 paragraphs there. Go back to, again, if you don't know where this is at, it's www.lipsum.com, okay, /feed HTML, and it'll generate fake text. It's very useful when you're laying out your page, okay? So I've copied the first 2 columns. I'm going to go back over here, and inside the paragraph, I'm just going to paste it. Okay? So I will do a paragraph around that one. Very good. There. Making sure there's a paragraph tag around both of those. Okay? If you need to format your code, you should be able to right-click, go to Format Document, and it'll keep things looking sort of pretty for you. Okay? So that's main content for item 3. I'm going to create another div, and this one is going to be called using the class.item item 4. Inside of it, we're going to use another H5, and this one's going to be called right side content. And we're going to put an image in. Okay. I'm going to go back to Opera here real quick and place holder image. So we'll just do that. These look like good placeholders. I'm going to grab this one. So you right click on it, go to Save Image As, and I gotta find my GitHub folder. GitHub, grid layout, perfect. All right. All I did in Google is just search for placeholder image on Google, and I clicked on the images and I selected one. Okay, that's all that is. We go back over here. We have this download.png, and that's what's there. Okay, so I'm going to put in download.png in this placeholder image. Underneath it, do another paragraph, and just going to copy about that much text and put it in there. Okay. All right, so that makes up item 4 for the right side content. Let's talk about the footer. Okay. So for the footer, we're going to do again this time it'll be item 5. Whoops. Dot item 5. There we go. Okay, let's take a break, pause. Everyone look at your neighbor's code. Is everyone keeping up? Okay. Everyone keeping up? By the way, this is week 6, right? So weeks 1, 2, and 3 assignments are officially closed now. Okay? So if you have not finished any of the Cengage assignments, those are closed. We have to keep moving forward. It's very important that you stay up to date doing your assignments, pushing forward, because if you don't, you'll fail the class. Okay? I've had so many students over the years fail because they just don't do the assignments. And I can't leave them open until the end of the school year. That can't happen. We got to keep moving forward, okay? All right? Okay. So we're at item 5. Okay? There are some students in here who have exceptions to that. Okay, and I'm working with you individually for those who just joined the class. There's a couple of students I'm working with individually as well. I don't want you to freak out with what I just said. Everybody else, you gotta stay up to date. All right. I'm not trying to be mean, but we gotta stay on target. Okay. All right. So item 5, we're gonna just put another paragraph in here, and this one's going to be in ampersand. We're going to use a short code for the copyright symbol. Okay, so ampersand, copy, semicolon, and that will produce that circle with a C inside. All right, and then we'll say 2024-NMC. Underneath this, we're going to put some footer links. So I'm going to type footer links like that, and I'm going to do command / to create a comment. All right. If you don't know how to create the comment, you just type it in, greater than symbol, exclamation mark, dash, space. This part here is very important that you follow that format. To close the comment, use that part. Okay? All right. So we're now going to talk about footer links. A lot of websites will have like a set of footers and columns at the bottom of the page. So let's do that. Let's set up those footer links. We're going to do dot footer footer links. Okay. Then we'll do inside of that another dot footer column. Okay. And inside that we're going to do an H6. We'll type company. Okay. We'll do a UL tag and an LI tag. And to make this simple, I'm just going to copy what's right here. We'll just copy this UL and these 3 LIs, okay? Copy that. I'm going to paste it right over top of this UL and LI. Everyone see that? Making life easier for us. Yeehaw. Okay, we're going to do it again. So now let's just copy this section here. Okay, we're copying this open and closing div with the company and everything. We're just going to copy that, go right below, hit enter, paste it again. I'm going to change it from company to, let's call it services. And we'll change this to maybe consulting. We'll change this one to support, API. And we're going to copy this again. And just copy it, paste it again. We'll change the header, the name there to resources. We'll change this one to blog. Next one to tutorial and documentation. All right. These are just sample things you could put at the bottom of a website that maybe are not necessarily a part of your main navigation, but they're things that, you know, maybe they're things that you want your customers to see and get access to no matter what, instead of having to drill through all the pages to find a particular thing. Okay, you can put a calendar down there, you can put a link to whatever, okay? All right, and I've got one more just for making it look okay. So we're going to copy that last one, paste again. We'll call this one legal and privacy policy. How about terms of service and cookie policy? Y'all know what a cookie policy is? Means you can't eat cookies at work. No, it doesn't mean that at all. Did anyone know what cookies are?
They're your data, your personal information.
It's your data that's actually stored on the web as you're browsing. So they're recording like what you click on. They're storing all this information about you, and then data brokers pay these companies to say, hey, what new data do you have on users? Would you mind sharing that? Would you mind selling it? And so then they sell cookies. Your data is called cookies because it's yummy, I guess. I don't know. It sounds weird, right? It's like, where are you going, Mr. Rogers? All right. What's that?
I said, please not those 400 weeks.
All right. Look at your neighbor's code. Is everyone up with me now? Can you kind of visualize where we're going so far? All right. So right now, we haven't specified anything to do with the grid. Nothing yet, except maybe what's there in the title. Let's go into our CSS. We're going to create a new CSS file, and we'll call it styles.css. Okay, save it. I'm going to go back over here, and underneath my title on the HTML, I want to link to that CSS. So I'm going to hit enter. And does anyone remember which tag you use to link to a CSS? Link, exactly. So we're going to select this option, and I made my name Styles, so I have to change the spelling here. There we go, Styles. All right, let's take a look real quick. If we show the preview on this, this is what we have, right? It's not very pretty. I'm going to copy this. Let's open it up in Opera. Okay? It's like, this is not a very nice looking layout, right? But for all intents and purposes, the data is there. And this is important to remember for someone who is visually impaired to the point where they can't see it all and they rely on screen readers. This layout is perfectly fine because the screen reader will tell them what's on the page, okay? The only thing we didn't do was for our image, right? It's always important to put an alt in there. Picture of a placeholder for future images. Be as descriptive as possible for your images, your alt, because that's what's read by the screen reader, okay? All right, so nothing very, very pleasing yet here in this site. I'm gonna close my index HTML. I just got my CSS style open, and we're gonna do some basic things. We're gonna be using a grid, but we wanna define the grid in a certain way. So I'm gonna start with item 1, and we're gonna use the curly brackets, and we're gonna say grid area, and I'm going to name it. Item 1 grid area is the header. If you remember in your index HTML, here's item 1. This is literally my header. That's this piece of code right here. Okay? So over here, that's item 1. Item 2, also going to use grid area. This is going to be a menu. Item 3, grid area, is going to be the main. Item 4, grid area, is going to be the right side of the screen. Item 5, grid area, is going to be the footer. Okay, so our grid, we're labeling things for how it's going to be used throughout the rest of the document, okay, for the CSS. This is very important. So we've laid that out. Now I've saved it, nothing's happened because we haven't really, we've just kind of laid out like the overarching idea here. So let's start with a grid container. And we're going to say the display is going to be grid. Now something happened. You can see things kind of jumped a little bit, but we haven't, nothing major yet. So let's lay out the grid template area. So we're going to say grid template areas, and I'm going to hit new line because I think it makes more sense this way. I'm going to tab in. I'm going to say header, 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 header. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm creating 5 notional areas on the grid by saying that. And because header is here, this piece of code is going to line up across in 5 notional areas. All right, I'm going to hit enter. Single quotes again. Hang on. I don't like that extra space. There we go. I'm going to say menu, main, 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 right, right. Okay? So you got to think about the way this template area is being laid out. It's being laid out like, you know, like if I do it like this, so you can see it better. We're missing a header, aren't we? So add another header. There we go. All right. So that's kind of the way we do that, all right? All right, let's do it again. Now we're going to be menu, footer, 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 footer. All right, so now I've laid out what the areas are going to be. And remember, these class names, these align to what we have in the HTML over here. And so I'm basically saying those areas named after this that have these label names for the grid areas are laid out in this fashion. Okay? All right. Let's set a grid template for the rows. And we'll say auto 1FR auto. Someone asked me this week, they said LFR. Was that you said LFR?
Yeah, I forgot the exact name for it, so I just. thought
Yeah,
it
this
was
is a
like-
1FR. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to ensure that the middle row is main, right. It takes up the remaining space, the way we do that, okay? All right, now we're gonna set a gap. And I'm gonna set a gap of 1 px. I mean, you can have a gap of 10, but I think it looks kind of, it's almost a little too much. I'm gonna set the background color. And my background color for my site, let's just make it, something that's not too dark. Silver. That'll work. And then padding, we'll give a 10 px. And then the height is going to be 100 VH. This is going to ensure that the grid takes up the full visible viewport, okay? That's what that does. All right, so that is for the grid container. Let's go and now and set up a second and do grid container again, greater than div. We're going to set the background color. Let's do an RGBA for this one. That's red, green, blue with an alpha. Alpha gives you opacity. So we'll say 255, 255, 255, and we'll do 0.8 in opacity. Okay? We're going to say our text is aligned to center. We're going to give a padding of 20 px and 0. And we're going to set the font size. Let's see. Let's do 30 px. That's too big. Let's do 14 px. Okay. All right. So that takes care of general things, how we want it to be laid out. Let's talk about the top menu. Okay. So the top menu. We'll do, let's see, top dash menu, UL, list style, type of none. You can see it took away the bullets up there. And then we're going to set the margin to 0. And the padding to 0. We'll set the display to flex. And I think we could also do inline. Maybe not. Maybe flex is what you have to do. Okay, so that takes it from going this way to flattening it out, right? It flattens it out. All right, so we got that set. Let's justify the content, and we're going to say space around. Think about what justify means. If you're using on a Word document, you have left assign, right assign, center, or justify. And with justify, you have a lot of different options you could use. You could use baseline, center. There's many. Space between, which does that. Or you could do space around, which says on all sides make it equivalent. Honestly, I don't want it done that way. I would rather have it done left. And because of that, I want at least a little padding on the right of 10px. And that's, I think I have to go down and do that in another place. So we'll just set that to padding like so, and we'll set the padding on this in a little bit. All right, so that sets up that piece. Let's do the background color. And we'll make it black. All right. Now let's set up individual items on the links itself. So we're going to do top menu again. It is UL, LI, the anchor tag. Okay. And we're going to set the color to white. Text decoration to none. That'll take away the underscores or the underlines. And the font size for this is going to be 14px. Actually, let's make it bigger. Let's make it 20. Okay? And we'll set the padding on this to 10px. There we go. All right, take a break. Everyone with me so far? Anyone need me to go back? Okay. All right, again, I'm going to extend this assignment till Friday, but I want you all to master this concept of the grid layout, because when you do your final projects, the grid layout is really a great way to organize your code. Because once you get the layout set, it's very usable for everything else that you're going to be doing for your website. Okay? Okay. Everyone still with me? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Yeah? Okay. Let's see here. We've got our anchor tag specified. Let's specify the behavior when you hover over the top menu. So we're going to say top menu, UL, LI, anchor. We're going to use the pseudo class hover. Okay. And we're going to say text decoration on hover is going to be a where did it go? My code. Underline. Okay, so we can test this out a little bit. Yep, there it is. Kind of got some look and feel laid out so far. That's all we need for that. All right, so now let's do something with the side menu. Okay, let's do something with our side menu. For our side menu, we'll use item 2. And we're going to specify a height on this of 100%. Okay? And this is going to ensure that that side menu takes up the entire height of the page. It goes from top to bottom. Okay? All right, so that's our side menu. Let's now use the class for side. So it's side dash menu, the UL. Again, we're going to do a list style type of none. We'll set margin on this of 0. We're going to do a padding of 0. We're going to do a background color. Let's do this in gold. Okay. And we'll set the height of this menu again to 100%. Okay. Let's take a look at what we have so far in Opera. Refresh it. Why isn't that working? Copy that. Paste. Oh, there it is. Right? The rest of the page hasn't fallen into the formatting yet, but so far this is what we've got. Right? Okay. So that's our side menu. We've specified it's going to take up that entire height. Let's do a little bit more styling on the anchor tag. So we're going to say side menu, UL, LI, anchor. We're going to set the color for this menu to be black. Okay. We'll do text decoration of none. We'll set a font size, this one, of 20 px. We'll do display. We'll make it block. And we'll set a padding on this one all around on all sides of 10 px. Okay? It's actually a little too much. Let's take it down to 5 px. I like that better. All right, everyone still with me? Everyone good? Anyone need me to go back? Am I going too fast?
Maybe a little bit.
A little too fast?
Yeah.
Okay, which part do you need me to go back to?
Oh no, I'm a little bit behind on the thing. I think that's fine.
Is the code still in front of you, or do you need me to go back up a little bit?
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so just like we did for the header menu, we now need to, specify some type of behavior on hover. Like here's the header. When you hover, you get the underline. Well, we want some similar type behavior on the side menu. So again, we're going to do side menu, UL, LI, anchor. We'll use the hover pseudo class. And we'll do text, decoration, and we'll say underline. Right? All right. One of the things we could do as well, I think we could say on hover content. Whoops. I think we can do this. Content. And which means on hover, it's going to, what is that? Is it content? It is content. We'll do that. Let's see if it worked. No, it didn't work. Let's see. Take that out. Is it? Oh, it is before. That's what it is. There you go. Right? So you get that extra thing going on. This doesn't work with that hover there. So what I'm going to do is take that out. We'll copy this section, go above, and take out that there, and then we'll say text decoration underline. That should do it. Yeah, now you get the full effect. We could even do something like this. We could say text decoration is let's not use text decoration. Let's do font weight of 500. It's not subtle enough. How about 800? There you go. Right? Some different things you can do to make it pop out. All right. So that is using that cover, that content. And this content I believe you can also use URLs, so you could have a special image pop in there. You could do a lot of other things there with your grid layout. Okay, we got that. That is the side menu. Now we need to focus on the footer section. Okay, so I'm going to do another comment, and we're going to call this the footer. Whoops, footer. And this is going to be footer links, display, flex, justify content is going to be space around. And it's going to have a margin on the top of 20 px. Underneath that, we're going to do footer links again. And then we're going to do footer columns. Footer column. And we're going to specify a width on this footer column of 20%. Okay, so if we scroll down a little bit, we start to see the columns lay out, and if we bring this over, they should map, but I don't think we're done yet. Yeah, we got a little bit more we got to do, a little bit more. All right, so let's do footer link again. Footer column H3. Did we do H3 or did we do H6? Yeah, thank you. H6. We'll say the border on the bottom is 2px, solid and white. The padding on the bottom is 10px. Okay, we'll do footer links again, footer column, UL. We need to tell all of those disks, those little black circles next to the links to go away. So we're going to do list style type none. Footer links, footer column. What am I missing? Footer links, footer column, UL. All right. We'll come back to this in a second. Padding, 0. All right, we were almost done. Almost there. Okay. All right, you can guess we need to address the anchor tags as well. So footer column, UL, LI, anchor, color is going to be white. The text decoration is none. And then footer links, footer column, UL, LI, anchor, hover, text, decoration is underlined. All right, we're missing something here. Let's take a look real quick and see. Let's go to our site over here, refresh it. What are we missing? We've got, where's my inspect? There it is. Yes,
It's in the index HTML. You spelled column wrong.
I spelled column wrong.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Everyone say thank you, Chris.
That was a big
Thank you.
There we go. There we go. I knew something was wrong. All right. That's better. I still got something misspelled though. Footer column. What are we missing? Div class, footer links, item 5, footer links. Yes.
Oh, no, I'm not reading it.
Oh, okay. All right, let's look at this. Footer column, footer column. So it worked fine there. Services has an issue. Let's take a look at services. Footer column.
There's a closing div tag next to the class name.
Next to the class name.
Yeah.
By George, he's right. Look at that. That's why.
And also on the
Yeah, that one there. I think during the copy paste, it must have did that. All right, is there any other area that did that? All right, let's look at our divs. There's our footer links. There is our item 5. Do we have an extra div? We have an extra div. There we go.
It's on the navigation tags as well. On the more up. Up. There. On item 2. Next to item 2.
Yep, there you go. Okay. This is what debugging is, often involves. All right, so my content's probably a little bit too much, so I'm going to take out this. Take out this section. Yep. All right. Now the image. I'm going to just set a height of maybe 30 pixels. How about 100 pixels? That's better. All right. So we're starting to get this looking a little bit better. 70 is good. Take it down maybe 60. There we go. Okay. Take out some of that. There we go. All right. So you can see the layout is starting to come together. Let's go back over here to this page and refresh it real quick. All right, there we go. That's actually coming out better now than what we were after. This bottom section though needs a darker gray. And if we're looking at that bottom section, where is it at? This is the item 5 footer links. So let's go over here to Visual Studio, go to this section, and our footer links, let's check this again. Item 5. Let's do it directly on item 5 instead. So I'm going to say item 5. Background color is gray, and we'll do an important. There we go. So now if we look at this again, there you go. So you have a little bit better look and feel. Now this is not right. That gold is supposed to go to the top and bottom, and we've got the header there. But this is in general a good layout of our site. Let's go back to our CSS and let's adjust, where is it at? The padding. Let's change the gap to 10. Right? Take that down to 5 maybe? No. We need that. Where's my background color at? This thing here is what? This is silver, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is it at?
Oh, there you go.
So if we change, yeah, so we want this to be the same as this one. So copy that.
Okay.
There we go. That's a little better. All right, why is it complaining? Probably because it didn't have a semicolon. There we go. And this font is still too big, don't you think? And it's hot in here. Where's that gold menu at? The font size. Right here, right? Let's take this down to a 14. Let's take it down to maybe even a 12. That's better. Yeah. Right? All right. What else can we do to make this better? It almost feels like this footer should go all the way across the bottom, right? Let's try that and see what we get.
It's to lean to the right. Oh, there, that's even better.
Yeah. So we used our grid display, grid template area to control that. So we made footer all the way across the bottom. Did the air go off or something, or is it? I am sweating. All right. So that's what we got so far. Okay. This is a good start. Okay, this is using the grid layout. I'm going to save everything. Let's go back to Opera and see what it looks like in full screen. Right? So refresh it. This is what we got. And if we change the layout style, see it's responsively, it's contracting and sizing appropriately. Right? And that's what you want your site to do. You don't want it to go all off texture and overlap each other. All right. It is 4:40. And we have covered everything we need to cover. I'm going to post the video for this shortly. Okay, you can use what I've done, but you need to make it your own. Okay? Change the colors, see if you can make the menu bigger, right? Play around with it, make it your own. Guys got it? Okay, any questions for me? All right.
Have you guys been already figured out the B3 one coding challenge so far? Like, is it already fixed?
Oh, the one that we had referred to Cengage about?
Yeah.
That one is still, we're still waiting on Cengage to get back to us. And I'll let you know, those who were in my Java class last year, Cengage takes a long time to respond back. So don't worry about that assignment.
Or excuse, right?
Yeah, you're excused from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is what it is for that one. Yes, sir.
If we already submitted the grid layouts, can we resubmit it?
Yes, you can. Yeah. Does everyone feel like you feel more comfortable with it now? Right? I know the CSS feels complicated, but you have to think about it you gotta think about it grabbing it in chunks. Focus on this area, get it to do what you want, then go to the next area, break it into smaller pieces, right? It's like the joke. You know how to eat an elephant?
No.
One bite at a time, right? Okay, you just got to do it piece by piece. Don't try to like do this all at one go. Do it piece by piece and break it down into smaller pieces and until you get it. Okay. All right. I will head over to the other class, and if you guys have any questions over there, I'm free for any future discussions.